everybody, and welcome back. We're at Ratliff Stadium again tonight, second consecutive home game for your Odessa High Broncos. Tonight they're going to be facing a very high-flying offense that really put the number on them last year. Let's see if some adjustments have been made in the offseason to slow down this prolific passing offense of the Lubbock Coronado Mustangs. They did win the toss. They deferred, meaning Odessa High will receive the kickoff, defending the north goal when we return to Ratliff in just a moment.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. Grave Rider! He's spraying Dr. Pepper because he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
You've seen the auto ads offering low-rate financing. It sounds like a great deal, but you may have to give up the dealer's rebate to get that rate. What if you could get a great rate and the rebate? You can. Get your auto loan at Complex Community Federal Credit Union and get great terms and still qualify for the dealer's rebate. So have your cake and eat it too. A great rate and a rebate. Get your auto loan today at Complex Community Federal Credit Union.
Present for you.
Always good to have you with us on these broadcasts, brought to you in part tonight by the Booster Club at both Odessa High and Permian and by Odessa Regional Medical Center. Thank you for their participation. High-flying passing offense. So let's ask Kyle, what are your keys to the game?
I think one of the keys is to ground that high-flying passing offense. Barry's thrown for, talking about Quay Gray, their quarterback. In 2 ball games, he's thrown 640 yards, 9 TDs, a 70% completion percentage. So I believe they need to get some pressure. I'm talking about the Odessa High defense has got to get some pressure on their quarterback into making some hurried throws and poor decisions. I think they got to get off the field and force them to get off and get some punts, get that ball to their offense. And when they do have the ball, control the clock, wear their defense down, keep their offense off the field, and also move the chains, get some first downs, and get control of this ball game early. One thing I noticed statistically, Barry, this team, I'm talking about Coronado, is really good in the first and third quarters of games. 21 points in the first quarter up to this point, and 28 in the third, and then they really pour it on you if they wear you down with 42 in the fourth quarter. So we can't let it get out of hand as well early in the ball game.
Well, the key to the game, as you mentioned, Kyle Hubbard, is control the ball offensively, keep the high-powered Quay Gray offense off the field. So they're going to start out with Lara. Josh Lara, the running back, also in the backfield with him. Quarterback again tonight will be Trey Smith. Out on the flank, Chase Webster, Tyrone Caulfield, Zeke Garcia, Zay Brown, Julian Galindo, Charles McClure. Has a lot of guys to choose from. I'll give you the linemen here in a moment. Modest gain of only a yard, bringing up 2nd and 9. You certainly don't want to get in 3rd and long.
Nope, don't get behind the chains. And you're
it's
exactly
going to be
right.
third, and it's going to be 3rd and long, as they're going to need the full 10 after the loss of 1. Up front, Luis Nunez, right tackle, Kevon Majors, left guard, or right guard rather, Nathan Sanchez the center, left guard Brandon Jones, and Caden Murray at left tackle. So those guys up front going to be counted on to do their thing.
I bet the front 4 of their defense is going to pin their ears back if it's pass and try to get some pressure on Trey Smith. This is one high safety. They're going to play man-to-man on the outside.
Coronado gave up 131 yards rushing last week, 167 the week before. That was a catchable pass, but they did not complete it. Try to get the ball out to the receiver. Galindo falls incomplete. And now they'll have to kick it, and McClure will come on and put a toe to it.
Trey Smith would probably like to have that pass back, Barry. It was just a little high for the receiver. A great out route by that young man. If he could have brought it in, it would have been a first down. Trey would probably like to put that one right on the numbers out in front and let him turn upfield and get him about 5 or 10 more yards. Didn't happen. Now they got a punt.
I'd go for that. Who did that? I could go for that. Maybe Bob would know. There's some rock song stuck in my head now. So now standing back at the 45-yard line for the return. They're going to get a good return out of it up to midfield, and that's going to be it. Nope, going to get about 3 more yards before they finally put him on the ground. Blair Conwright, leading receiver, will be took the punt. So first time around for this offense. Talk about what we know, what you mentioned earlier.
Well, we just know that they like to really sling this thing around. That was a concern when I talked to a couple of the coaches this week about this offense. They were concerned about them slinging it around. As we said, rushing-wise, they haven't been too bad, averaging about 4.6 yards a rush or carry during the first 2 ball games. They've got to control and neutralize the line of scrimmage and see if they can get some pressure. And as we see right here on this first down play, Barry, that's just a quick out route or stop route by the slot. Good pitch and catch and a good first down. They're already inside the Bronco 20-yard line. Here's our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Watch, he's going to fake the handoff right here to the back and then just pitch the ball out there on a little stop out route by number 16. Their excellent wide receiver out there, John Hernandez. And it's first down for the Coronado Mustangs.
Yeah, they got 20. First rattle out of the box. Gets another receiver here. Going to be good to Caden Hensley. Quarterback is 6'1", 172. He's going to throw it about 30, 32 times a game. 23 passes the first week, 31 last week. So we're going to expect about the same. Last year in the matchup, I'll tell you what happened. It wasn't very pretty.
No, it wasn't.
So second down now from the 18, or from the 13 rather. Going to throw it again. One of the keys to the game, I think, is you got to put pressure on the guy. It's going to be a motion penalty, so they're going to call this back. While we're doing that, we'll check with the referee. Quay Gray, as a sophomore, threw for 2,209 yards and 17 TDs. Last year, as a junior, 4,192 yards and 53 touchdowns. This year so far, 640 yards and 9. So that means over 7,000 yards and 79 touchdowns thrown by this young guy in just a bit over in 2 years and 2 games.
And slinging around, that was Jesse Mendoza, our referee, giving us the call there. We'll get the rest of the referees in just a moment.
And they're down to their second running back, which we'll talk about here in just a moment. Gray slings it out. Receiver goes to the turf. Turf toe got him. So what happened to the big guy?
Well, the big guy that we heard a lot from last year is on
Gerard Compton.
Gerard Compton is on the kind of on the shelf right now, out about 4 to 6 weeks is what I was told here in the press box with a leg injury. That's a big component of their offense. Lost from last year. He had 1,300 and something yards rushing for this Mustang offense. When you can have 1,000-yard back in this offense, it opens things up in your passing game, as Barry talked about last year with this throwing game of Coronado.
They're going to flush him out. He's going to have to run it, and he is not going to get anywhere near what he needs for the first. Had to get down to the 11-yard line. They're going to actually stay in a little longer than I thought. They're going to mark him out at the 17, and they'll have to, looks like, are they going to bring the kicker in?
Well, they do have a good kicker in warm-ups. He was probably good from about 40 to 45 yards.
Gage Urias is the kicker. He has not attempted a field goal this year, so this will be from 33 yards out. Actually 34, they're going to place it at the 24. So trying to break on top of the Mustangs here early in the ball game. Gage Urias will get his foot into it, and it is no good. It is wide of the upright and the Broncos defense is held.
And that's a big break for the Bronco defense. That's a win for them right now with no points after a short field for the Mustangs to use after the punt. Did give up a couple things, but that's always that bend but don't break type of mentality. Now they've got to do something with the football. Great job by the Bronco defense to hold them to nothing there. Let's see what they do here on their second possession of the game.
Yeah, they need to certainly get some first downs. Tell you what the offense has done first 2 games here in just a second.
Quarterback draw maybe. Yep, there it is. Didn't quite get it blocked at the point of attack for about a yard gain. When they motioned that back out, tried to pull a secondary man over to the far side of the field. Kind of had a feeling maybe we'd see the quarterback draw there. Didn't get it blocked at the point of attack very well. Got about a yard and a half, 2 yards actually they're going to give him. 2nd and 8. Now, a Bronco offense has got to get some yardage here, Barry, and kind of flip the field position-wise.
Now their average 270 yards a game coming in, 147 of that on the ground, 123 throwing. Going to throw it here, and he's going to get tackled immediately for a loss of 1. So they've gained 2, and then they pass out to Caulfield. We'll lose 3, and it's going to be 3rd and long again.
Tried to start the wide receiver tunnel screen out to the far side. The back in motion or the inside receiver up there did not get the corner blocked. He just fought through it and made the play. Good play by that young man. And here's Odessa High with already another 3rd and long situation on their end of the field.
Good thing, Caulfield's first catch of the season, so they finally got him involved. That's going to cost him 5 as is a little bit anxious on that as Galindo was about 8 yards downfield, so mark it back 5 and make it even tougher.
Jesse Mendoza making the call there. Our umpire, Steve Markham. The line judge, Randall Morris. Heads linesman is Johnny Lasoya. And the back judge is Richard Gutierrez. This is a Permian Basin chapter officiating crew. It wasn't hard to make that play. The receiver's got to watch the ball if he doesn't know the count.
Yep, got to get out to the 30-yard line for a first, so they've got to give him a clean pocket. He does have a man open. Munoz will have it. Munoz is going to be well short. He needed to get to the 30, gets to the 22, and they're going to have to ask the kicker, McClure, to come back out.
We've got a penalty flag here as you see the instant replay, our Trans Global Productions instant replay. Nice throw and catch on the outside there. Let's see what the penalty is. I don't know if this will be an illegal block. Maybe on the outside there. After
I don't think you take it, though, because it's going to be 4th down.
Yeah, let's see. Yeah, he's asking them. They're going to decline it. So it is against Odessa High. They just take the play and make them punt here.
Blocking the back. Number 12 on offense. Penalties decline. 4th down.
Yep. Now this series between these two teams, that goes all the way back to, let's see, the first time they played was 1992. 24 games. Odessa High's won 13. Coronado's won 11. Coronado won the last 2, 28-27, 63-14. They are in District 4-5A. I'll tell you who's in the rest of the district with them in a minute.
Good coverage by the Bronco punt coverage team right there, getting down the field for absolutely no gain. Looked like Chase Webster might have been one of those on the tackle there. But you're right, most of the Lubbock schools now have dropped down to 5A, except for Friendship right outside of Lubbock, of course, is in our district with Odessa High, Permian, the 2 Midland schools, San Angelo and Tascosa. But
what do you think of those unis?
A little tough to see, really. Both are a little tough to see tonight. We definitely got to have the glasses on to pick up numbers.
I kind of like the way they look, though, talking about ours.
Yeah.
So Quay Gray, the quarterback, tall, lanky fella, going to dump it out to his receiver. Running back's going to get only a yard gain. Just a good job defensively to break that up. Who caught the ball?
Charles McClure on the tackle. This is the back swinging out from the backfield. Looks like it might be number 8.
Yeah, Manuel.
Yep.
Manuel's the guy that stepped in when Gerard Compton got hurt. He's a sophomore, 5'7", 156. So he's going to be the man of the hour running the ball until Compton can come back somewhere around the 6th or 7th game of the year. So right up the middle they go. Tackle made there by the Gallegos.
Yeah, the nose tackle actually just kind of got blocked into the hole. Not before a good gain and a first down. Good job by Juan Gallegos to make that play. Little handoff on the inside there on first down. Again, the interior of that Bronco defense again by Gallegos, Mendoza, and Gonzalez. Inside linebackers filling there on their 3-4 defense. Good job of filling and making that play for only a 1-yard gain.
Yeah, that means they're going to get the rifleman wound up here, so watch out. Loves to throw the ball quick, and well, he does it there, but just a great job defensively to converge down on the receiver, and they absolutely can get nowhere.
Watch Tony Carrasco. He read it. There he is running down the line of scrimmage along with number 5 for the Broncos. That is, got to get a number there. Number 5 for the Broncos is Joseph Chavez making the play as well. Good job by those guys of running down the line of scrimmage on the quick screen outside here for actually a 1-yard loss.
I think it was Hensley that caught it. It's hard to differentiate a 5 and a 6 for me with these uniforms. Gray, a little bit of a clean pocket.
Whoa!
Gets the ball down there. Looks like it's picked off. It is! Coming up with the pick for the Broncos is going to be Parker Cherry. First-year starter, first pick of the year for him, and that's the way you do it.
Watch the ball get tipped right in front there by number 25, Tony Carrasco, making the play on a tip ball on the pass. And the old tip drill just came into play there for the Broncos. As Barry said, Parker Cherry made the interception, first turnover of the ball game. And the Broncos have a little better field position now at their own 28-yard line. Let's see what they can do on their third series. Let's see if they go for a big play here. 3 receivers stacked to the top. Let's see if they do a little quick screen out there, Barry.
Well, Aaron Ochoa had the only pick of the season before that one. Cherry gets his.
There it is.
I guess they call that cherry picking.
Yep.
And there goes the big play he's talking about. They're going to get about 6 on that one as they get it out to Galindo.
3 receivers stacked to the top side with only 2 defenders out there, Barry. Trey Smith read it right, just got the ball out there on the wide receiver screen. Both receivers out there that did not catch it were excellent blocks. And the Broncos have a nice 7-yard gain on first down.
That's right. So Lara's going to try to pick up the first down. Hand it off to him. Able to fight through and get about a yard of it. So it's going to be 3rd and 2. It was blown dead, and so you might as well quit. Don't even jump on the ball. So it's going to bring up 3rd and short. They definitely need a first down here.
Right now, the Coronado defensive front 4 is winning the battle at the line of scrimmage after 3 series, Barry. They're very aggressive, trying to get some penetration. They don't want this Bronco running game to get going like they've seen on films, especially last week that we saw here at Ratliff Stadium against the Amarillo High Sandies. They are forcing penetration. The way you beat that is do some quick draws and screens and get them out of position. Whoa, look at there.
It'll be a quick pass to Jacob Munoz, and Munoz is going to motor down the field all the way down to the 41-yard line for a gain of 23.
If you saw on our replay there, actually the receiver lined up in the slot in an H-back position is what we call that in the coaching profession. He just circled out and then right back into the middle of the field. Wide open, good pitch, good catch. Great first down for the Broncos. They're on the positive side of the 50 now.
Yep, first down of the game.
Looky here.
Down the field, he's got to go wide open down to the 5 and into the end zone, and the Broncos are on the board.
Well, the play-action pass set this up, Barry. Watch on our replay. The slot receiver just actually did a little wheel route up to the far side. The play-action pass held the linebackers and afforded the time of that receiver to get on up the sideline. And Trey Smith giving credit for putting it right on the money. The Broncos are on the scoreboard with the lead early here at Ratliff Stadium.
Julian Galindo's 2nd score of the season. Had one last week of 9. This one goes for 41. The extra point tacked on by Kane Cordova. And the Broncos have broken out on top of the Lubbock Coronado Mustangs by 7-0 with exactly 3 minutes to play in the first quarter.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Are you sure we should take this billboard down?
People find out State Farm does car loans as well as they do insurance. Our bank is through.
Good point. Grab an edge.
Look, there's 2 guys on the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign.
No, for real, there's 2 dudes on the State Farm
Borrow Better banking sign.
Gentlemen, please get down from the State Farm Borrow Better banking sign. Phil, get the hose.
Okay, he's getting the hose.
All right, let's go.
Want to borrow better? Contact State Farm agent Mike Podzemny about a car loan that can save you hundreds.
Our Trans Global Productions Game of the Week brought to you in part by the Permian Basin Area Wide Phone Book and Odessa College.
And you can see the outside receiver at the top just stopped. Looked like it's going to be a quick screen. That allowed the inside receiver to run that little route right up the sideline over there. That's what set that up. And one thing I've noticed, Barry, the fans at home can hopefully see it on some of the plays when Odessa High has the ball. Coronado wants to play 3 deep in the secondary, 2 corners and a safety. That is not going to work against this Bronco offense.
Smith is 5 of 6. He hit the last 5 passes in a row for 74 yards. Conwright returning this one out beyond the 40. Conwright is still on his feet and finally brought down out near midfield. Oh, my goodness.
Well, they lost contain on the kickoff coverage down here, Barry. Didn't have anybody on the numbers to force that returner back inside. Here it is. Watch him come over here. Watch the wall set up down here. Odessa High did not have anybody on contain over here, and that's what allowed him to get outside. And if it's not for that tackle right there and he gets across the field, he may be all the way in the end zone tying this ball game up.
Well, these guys, 3rd game of the year just like us, beat Plainview 56-14, beat Wichita Falls Rider last week 42-28, averaging 375 yards a game, only 46.5 yards passing with the absence of their returning 1,300-yard back, and so they're winging it a whole lot more. Going to run it here, and the Bronco defense is just right there on top of them, and they don't have anywhere to go.
I'm telling you, Tony Carrasco makes this play. Watch him come from the right there. See, he actually got penetration, and even though he didn't make the play, he did because he stopped the back in the backfield and allowed that other Bronco defender to get there and make the play.
And it was Manuel. Well, they had Gray. They stood him up, backed him up, but he kept going. He's going to be out within about 3 yards of what he needs for a first as he breaks into Bronco territory.
Watch the missed tackle right here. Didn't wrap up, didn't allow him to get on up the field there. Michael Gonzalez and Juan Gallegos in pursuit. They've got to wrap up and get him down on the turf. And this is a big 3rd and 5 play for the Bronco defense early.
Yep, they're going to run it. And they've got the first down and more. Down to the 40, still on his feet. Manuel's going to be down close to the 31-yard line for a gain of 19 on 3rd and 5.
This is the just a little give play on the outside zone is what we call that play in the coaching profession. Just got the point of attack blocked on the left side, found a way to get up in the alley, and made another first down for the Mustangs. Broncos have got to do a better job of tackling, Barry.
Yep, Bray again, forced out of the pocket, takes a nose dive, actually a butt dive, down to the 26-yard line, so they're going to give him 5.
An adjustment I've seen with this Coronado offense on this drive, Barry, is nobody is spying their quarterback right now. I'm talking about Quay Gray. He's just running to daylight on that play because nobody's in the middle of the field for the Bronco defense. I think this may be a Bronco timeout.
Timeout, Lubbock Coronado.
Oh, Coronado called the timeout.
So we'll take it with him. Broncos have the lead at 7-0. Coronado has the ball, 1 minute to play in the 3rd quarter.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
Our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment and Diamond Pump and Transport. So put on your defensive coordinator hat. What has to happen?
Two things, I think, Barry. They may consider having to take one of their inside linebackers on passing situations and spy the quarterback wherever he goes so he doesn't have a free lane to run. And I think they've got to get to the ball, which they're doing pretty good, but they got to finish up tackles.
Yeah, that's the critical thing there is you get a guy, you got to hang on to him. And Conrad is going to be into the end zone, and Coronado is on the board. That's Devin Morrison, rather. Devin Morrison into the end zone for the score. His third of the season. He had 9 catches. 3 scores coming in, now his 4th of the season, and they're an extra point away from tying this puppy up.
And that receiver just found the open spot in the middle of the Broncos secondary. That was a pretty easy throw and catch. And an adjustment is going to have to be made on that route from the sideline as well, but good play from their part. And as Barry said, another extra point away, or an extra point away. And they do tie it up at 7-7.
So we are all tied up at 7-7 with just under a minute to play in the first quarter. 50 seconds remain in quarter number 1. Tied up at 7-7 here at Ratliff. Stay with us.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Grand Rider, he always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! What you crave.
Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment has kept you rolling since 1944. With 3 generations of ownership and 4 generations of management, Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment carries the complete lines of Michelin and BF Goodrich. And we offer more than just tires, be it brakes or shocks. Your vehicle's best friend is Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment. With 24-hour road service, you can count on us for all your tire and automotive needs. Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment, with the largest fleet of service trucks in West Texas.
Our Trans-Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker, and Nimbus Drinking Water Systems. The Grady Morrison 26-yard pass capping a 5-play, 55-yard drive, minute 59. Let me tell you something interesting. Between 2008 and 2015, these Coronado Mustangs were 23 and 56. The only season where they were 500 or better was in 2008. And then seemingly out of nowhere, they ran up an 11-1 season last year, losing to Colleyville Heritage in the regional round. They were 3-7 back-to-back, and then all of a sudden out of nowhere, 11-1. And they have a lot of guys coming back from that game, and their head coach, Seth Parr, feels like they're going to be even better.
Well, they played a playoff game out here last year, Barry, and they were very impressive. Either the first or second round they played out here and were very good. Watch out! He may be gone, Barry. He is gone. Lucky there. How about that?
Come on, Indianapolis.
How about that? One play, 80 yards down the sideline. Watch the replay here. Like this is the old GT counter. The guard and the tackle on this side pulled. The lineman on the left side blocked down and gave him a crease. And from that point on, the running back for the Broncos was off to the races. And I thought once he got past that safety who didn't have a good angle or the speed, couldn't get to him, the Broncos have reestablished control and the lead in this game.
And the extra point is good. Kane Cordova has the 14 point. So one play after The Mustangs tied it up. Broncos take it 80 yards in one play and take the lead at 14-7, still in the first quarter. Back in a moment.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
Now, Laura's only other rush for a score this season was 5 yards out. This one goes 80. One play, 80 yards, 13 seconds. Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by E&E Service and Supply and by Security Bank. Those guys up front gave him the crease, and there he went.
Went off to the races, as we said, and good job by that offensive line of left side blocking down, right side pulling, getting a little crease for Laura to run through. And as Larry said, boy, he didn't realize he was that fast. He got through that hole, and he was off.
The longest play for a score this season by the Broncos. Longest play for a score by the opponent as well. Against Coronado. Again, they're going to return this one out to midfield. You can't be doing that.
That side over there didn't get it covered either. Watch as they cave in right there. I think that guy right there that missed probably should have had that lane cut off. Right head on up. And what Coronado's taking 2 kickoffs into good field position. A Bronco defense, I wonder how much time they had to make some adjustments after that last drive in the one play scoring drive of the offense.
So they'll start from the 47. Longest play prior to that was a 70-yarder against Ryder last week. For the Broncos, they had a 53-yard pass to Laura last week. That was their longest play of the season before that one. So lots of stuff. Conwright will catch the pass here.
Watch him in the slot running the drag, coming across from the top side all the way down, just a little drag route. Backers were backpedaling into zone coverage, and nice gain and a nice catch, and buried just like that. We're already through the first quarter.
15 yards on the catch and run will wrap up the first quarter. Broncos on the board twice in the quarter, giving up one. So it's 14-7 at the end of one. Back in a moment.
Paul Evans' huge selection of in-stock hardwood, vinyl, tile, and carpeting lets the Paul Evans customer fall in love with their actual floors instead of having to choose off of a tiny sample. Here at Paul Evans Flooring, we love big rolls of carpet, big pallets of flooring, and of course, big savings for you. From budget to unbelievable, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Texas Burger and by Mike Podzimny, State Farm Insurance Agent. So we start the second quarter of play. One thing's going to have to happen is the special teams for the Broncos are going to have to quit allowing those long kickoff returns. So now we'll start from the 38. Going to hand it off inside. Here's the defensive line just converging down on Manuel. And it will bring up a second down from the 35.
Michael Gonzalez, number 45, filling from his inside linebacker position to stop that play. That's what you ask your linebackers to do in a 3-4 defense. Stepped in and made the play for only a 3-yard gain.
Yep, a little bit of pressure on him. Going to have to throw it at the last moment. Does find the receiver. Going to be down to the 31-yard line before taken down there. That pass completed to Morrison, who scored a moment ago.
Watch from the south end zone. You see the drag coming across in front of you there, folks. That's another drag route by the slot receiver. Odessa High is going to have to get a backer to get in front of that and maybe chip that coming across within that 5-yard range. And there's your little chuck right there to cut that off. That's a good play designed by them again.
3rd and 3. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Man, he got away in a hurry, didn't he? But he ran out of bounds.
And that's going to be
going for the first down. Oh, and a late hit's going to cost him.
Yep, that's a late push on the
that's
sideline.
not good.
No, it's not.
They had him stopped and probably either going for it on 4th or trying a field goal, probably, or maybe even punting because the field goal would have been about a 48-yarder.
The 2 inside slot receivers came across again on a drag. We call that a rub route. Hang on.
Late hit out of bounds on the defense, number 25.
And they tried to, what they do on that route, Barry, is they try to make the middle linebacker be wrong. And they actually tried to rub those 2 receivers on drag routes, and they were neither one of them open, so the quarterback just took off. And then the shove here late on the sideline is going to cost Odessa High another 15 yards.
I was surprised he was running out of bounds anyway. So they're going to hand it off inside, and he has nowhere to go. And it's going to be Carrasco making the tackle.
Good play right there.
When we started tonight, 93 degrees, 22% humidity, just a little bit of wind, south at 9, just a perfect night here. And the fall out, it's not fall yet, is it? In late summer.
Not officially fall.
Out here in Ratliff.
Nice little rain here this morning, kind of cool things off.
That's okay, as long as it didn't rain now. There's a 30% chance of rain about 9 o'clock. Hopefully that will go someplace else. Going to throw it here. Going to look left. Nope, going to look right. Here comes the pressure. They're going to get him. He dropped the ball.
Yep.
They are doing a good job of coverage because he's constantly having to reassess where to throw it.
C.J. Washington coming from the defensive end position to apply pressure. They tried a little stop route right on the inside from the slot receiver up top. It was covered, as Barry said, and the quarterback helped the Broncos out there by just dropping the football. This is 3rd and long.
19.
And it could be a 4-point play. I talk about it all the time in these games. Hold them to a field goal here. You win 4 points in that span.
Cannot get inside the 8-yard line. That's where they need to go for a first. He's looking down the middle. Good coverage by the Broncos. In fact, they had him blanketed, and he could not complete the pass. Thanks to who was back there covering? Was that Chavez?
I think that's it's Cherry. Yeah, number 9.
Oh, number 9.
It's
okay.
Aaron Ochoa in coverage. You can see our replay. They were going to throw the post here, and Aaron's in good position right there. But he wished he could have caught that ball and had a turnover. But now Coronado's going to have to go for it, Barry. They don't get anything here with a punt.
Well, you can pooch it and try to get it down inside the 5, but I mean, as long as you keep them outside of your 8-yard line, then it's a win-win.
Play zone and rally to the ball. Don't give up anything deep. Here's the corner route up at the top. It wasn't open, and neither really was that route. That's a great series by the Bronco defense, Barry. Great series with their back against the wall with bad field position from OHS's standpoint. He's trying to decoy the defense there with that little point to get the safeties to bite. And I'll tell you, Charles McClure played it perfectly right in the middle of the field. He had excellent coverage. Good play by the Bronco defense and a good turnover on downs. Now the offense has to get some breathing room, and even more so, Barry, I think eat some clock here right now.
I'd take another 72-yard run or something.
Your defense might be huffing and puffing over here. They might want a chance to breathe and get some adjustments made, and you may get your wish. Watch out.
Trey Smith's going to be pushed out at the 47-yard line. That means he gets 20.
This is the quarterback draw. They pulled actually quarterback power. They pulled the right guard from the right side across to the left, and he just followed him up into the hole there. Another good job by those 5 guys up front on the offensive line. It's another Bronco first down at their own 48.
And they give him 21 yards to the 48. So we're in the second quarter. Broncos on top, 14-7. A great defensive stand just a moment ago. Now Smith's going to keep it again. Breaks the middle, breaks midfield all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Watch. Oh, we're going to have a late unnecessary roughness on Odessa High. Watch the right guard pull and seal the inside defender. And then watch right here. I didn't get to see the end of it, but they're going to get Odessa High for a personal foul here because one of the receivers knocked their defender down after the play was over. I believe that's going to be the call. Yep. So why is he going that way if it's on Odessa High?
Broncos
He's going the wrong way.
Had 19 penalties coming into the ball game.
Unless
in 2
it's
ball
on
games.
them. Well, he signaled Odessa High, but they're going towards Coronado at the 24-yard line of the Mustangs. Now, this referee down here is telling him he went the wrong way. So now he's going to have to come back. Hopefully they remember where the original line of scrimmage was going to be after that play and then mark off 15 from that point. So let's see what they decide to do here. A little confusion on our officiating crew right now. Yeah, they are going to mark it off on Odessa High.
What a difference.
Yep, 30-yard field change right there, Barry. But they're giving the explain.
Sure.
You see Coach Servants down here at the bottom talking to this receiver, this official.
I'm sure Coach Servants has talked to the 2 young men that tell them, hey, guys, play within yourself here, guys. Don't need to be giving extra yardage to an explosive offense. We've got to keep the ball and be smart about it. I think they're going to dump a ball off to Munoz here in a moment, and he's going to do something fantastic with it as he's, I think, been able to kind of maneuver into the no-man zone.
So what they're going to do is give them a first down, and at the end of the play, from that spot, mark it back 15 from there.
Right.
And Coach Servants is not very happy right now.
It came after the play. So.
Well, Bronco offense on 2 plays has run quarterback power from their right side of the formation to the left with 2 very good gains and 2 very well executed plays. But one possible lack of a little discipline here is going to cost the Broncos really about 15 yards. Well, actually, it is 15 yards. After all is said and done, it's 1st and 10 from the Odessa High 47-yard line.
So Trey Smith, the quarterback. Munoz is in the ball game. Looking to see if there's no Lara, so they're going 0 back.
Well, then expect to see another either quick screen or another quarterback power here. There it is. There it was, and Coronado played it a lot better.
Yeah, they got a couple of yards.
Stuffed the hole at the point of attack for only about 2 or 3 yards. But with empty right now, they're either telling Coronado we're either going to throw something fast, because basically it's 5 receivers in the game for Odessa
the clock
High.
Just keeps on running too.
Yep.
That's what I like about it.
Yeah, you're right.
You know, when you're playing an offense that we talked about from the beginning, that is big play. In fact, let me look at their big plays really quick. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 plays for touchdowns of 20 yards or more in 2 games. And you keep those off the field.
Oh, look at there. Looky here. He's going to get in the end zone, Barry.
Tyrone Caulfield is going to be in the end zone. And second catch of the season, his first score of the year. will come from 49 yards out, 51 yards out.
Stop and go route at the top of the field, Barry. At the top on the far sideline, the receiver ran a stop route. They faked the stop throw, and then he just took off. Stop and go is what we call that. And the Coronado defense did not react to that very well. And the Broncos have a 2-touchdown lead with 7:32 left in the second quarter.
Well, I'd say they recovered from that penalty very well. The extra point goes awry from Cordova, but the Broncos for the second week in a row have put up, well, 20 points or more. They're at 20-7 early in the second quarter, about halfway through the second quarter. We'll be back to Ratliff in a moment. It is Odessa High 20, Lubbock Coronado 7.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper.
Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Smith had that dump-off pass of 53 yards last week to Lara. This one, 53 yards last week. This one goes for 51 to Caulfield. 73-yard drive, 4 plays a minute, 14. Extra point no good, but they found something.
Barry, I'm going to make a call here right now. I bet they pooch this ball down there. I bet they pooch kick this to one of these two receivers at the 30 or maybe even the 20-yard line after the two big run backs.
What about if you just skull it?
Well, you can squib it down there as well, but you want to make sure one of these 4 middle up guys get the ball, not the 2 in the back end, because they've shown they can run the ball on kickoff returns. They were talking to the kicker over here. I bet that's what happens. There it is. Called it. And see, that's
they rocketed him to the turf at the 32-yard line.
And that's why, Barry, because now you're not giving up another 10 or 12, 15 yards in field position.
Aaron Ochoa.
Whew. Hello, welcome to Ratliff Stadium. Glad you're here. How'd that feel?
Yeah, really.
Wonderful, wonderful coverage by Aaron right there. And now the Broncos have them pinned back on their own Coronado's 32-yard line. Let's see if the defense steps up, goes 3 and out, and see if they can get the ball back and eat some clock, maybe get some points.
Best field position of the night for the defense.
Right, and to get some momentum going in at the half.
Broncos have scored 28 each of the first 2 weeks. They have 20 on the board thus far tonight. Only allowing 7 to this very explosive offense. Going to whip it out there, and they missed the tackle. Going to be a first down because of it. Get the ball out to, who's that wascally wabbit? Devin Morrison. And it's going to be a gain of about 12.
I'm kind of surprised they didn't call a pick right there. That outside receiver had the corner blocked off out there. I thought they might call a pick once he got out there, but
close.
Didn't call it.
So first down after the gain of 13, not 14, from the 43-yard line. Quay Gray, the quarterback. Here comes the pressure again. Whoop. He stepped up in the pocket, kept on going, and then slides. You don't see that in high school very often.
No, but that's a good job by that young man not to take a hit and take what the defense gives you.
Yeah, well coached, you're right.
Quarterback, keeper, once the receivers weren't open.
Live to fight another down.
And to live and play another down is exactly right.
Kind of a tall, gangly guy.
And athletic.
But they're getting some good pressure on him, Kyle.
They are from the outside. Now they've got to make sure they don't give up anything in the middle. I bet that's going to be an adjustment at halftime.
Going to hand it off inside to Manuel, and he's going to be stuffed. Just absolutely put on his backside by Gonzalez. Who'd you see? Did you see who hit him from below?
Yep, Cade Mendoza, number 36, the inside linebacker for the Broncos, filled very nicely. They only got about a yard. Good play, good reaction by the defense. Now it's 3rd and
about
6. Yep. See what they decide. I'm going to say I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see a little screen out here or a back, one of these inside receivers coming across the formation to the top.
Yeah, need to get to the Bronco 47. Let's see if they can pressure him. a little bit. Has the ball down there, has it completed. And it's going to be good for a catch and a first down, making the tackle for the Broncos.
Alex Perales, Barry, number 17.
Perales on Hernandez, but it's going to be all the way down to the, the 37-yard line.
Give Coronado credit for the execution there, but that's pretty good coverage by Perales right there, too. He's right on the spot to make that tackle. Sometimes that's what you got to do. These high-powered spread offenses.
Yeah, and he made the tackle. That's the main thing.
Look at there.
Yeah, tried to run the ball. Not going to get a whole lot, maybe one or two. Off there to make the tackle, among others, was Chavez.
Washington there also to help make the play as well.
And CJ has really played well this year.
He really has, and the Bronco coaching staff is very impressed with his intensity and how he has stepped up and become a leader on this defense this year. Played very well.
It'll be second down after the gain of 2. Going to throw it. Again, a little bit of pressure. Steps up. Throws the ball over the middle. It's going to be picked. Broncos have picked it for the second time. And the return's going to be out beyond the 35-yard line. Up there to make the tackle, the interception rather, is Michael Gonzalez. His first pick of the season, second of the game for the Broncos, and fourth of the season.
I think that's Charles McClure on the tip right there. He read it from his safety position and got the ball up in the air, and then Michael Gonzalez finishes off with an interception and a return. And now here we are, Barry, 4:26 left in the quarter. Coronado gets the ball to start the second half. Let's eat that 4:26, go down and get some points, and have momentum going into the half.
So starting from the 37-yard line, 4 minutes, 26 seconds, as Kyle just mentioned, on the clock. A lot of pressure, just dumps the ball off. It falls incomplete.
Yeah, they tried to set up a little short screen up to the top side there. Coronado played it well, had pressure coming from the front defensive line position of the Mustangs. That play was just a disaster from the moment it started. I like the choice, Barry, of throwing it away and not forcing something.
Yeah, because when you incomplete, it stops the clock.
And you don't force a turnover or anything like that. You have to put your defense with their back against their wall on their end of the field again. Good decision.
Yeah, Gray had thrown a pick each of the first 2 games, through 2 tonight. They're going to go back to Lara running the ball, and absolutely gets knocked on his backside there. Is a lot of good penetration. Gets him on the ground from Alex Smith.
Tried to run the zone sweep outside. The defensive end up there played it exactly perfectly for them. And Barry said it's a loss of 5. It's 3rd and 15. Got to be careful here now. Don't force anything. You know, get what you can, put the punt team on, and play field position.
Yeah, you have to let McClure try to pin them back deep.
Yep.
Going to be 3rd and 15. Will he run it or throw it? He's going to throw it. And incomplete. Tried to get the ball out to Galindo, and so they're going to ask Charles McClure to come on, boot the ball, see if he can get some good field position, averaging 30. Let's see, he's averaged coming into the ball game about 33 yards a pop. Is this his first punt of the game? Or second?
No, this is his third. Yeah, he punted twice. See if they can get some coverage down there. I'd kick it to that far sideline, far third of the field, and go cover or let it run out of bounds. Let's see if that's what he does, exactly what he's done. Kind of shanked it a little bit. Going to be right about the 47 or 8 yard line, maybe.
That wasn't what they needed, though.
No.
So Lubbock Coronado's had great field position. That tells you the defense is playing great.
Yep.
As they have started almost every drive with really good field position. The defense has come to play.
And here's one of those, hopefully this is not a 14-point turnaround I talk about on these telecasts, Barry, sometime with 3:25 left. Now, don't let them score because they get possession to start the second half.
A 21-yard punt is getting them started. It will get them started at their 47-yard line. 3 minutes, 35 seconds. And you're right. They scored the end of the half and to begin the second half would not be a good thing for the Broncos. So they decide to run the ball, and he is just tracked down and run. Gonzalez just crawls up on the backside of the running back manual, and he's on the ground and brings up second down.
Trans Global Productions instant replay shows Michael Gonzalez coming from the linebacker position through the B gap on the left side of their offense. He just filled the hole, ran parallel down the line of scrimmage, and made a great play.
Ray's going to throw it. Here comes some pressure. Almost picked off, went through the hands of a defender. So what's the B gap?
B gap is the area between the guard and the tackle on both sides of the offensive line, Barry. We letter those gappings from A to D. On the outside, the defense does the same thing. Okay, on both sides, from the football out to the sideline. That's where the B gap is between the guard and the tackle. That's where Michael came through. And then they had great pressure right there on second down. That was one of my keys. Get pressure and make him make a bad decision. And it's worked to a perfection right now for the Odessa defense.
Yeah, going to be 3rd and 10 now for Coronado. Again, pressure, so he's going to have to throw it on the run. No, he's going to have to run it. He's going to run it out of bounds. So again, the defense, Kyle, just absolutely lights out.
They brought a 4th linebacker as a 4th defensive end to blitz, and that actually caused him to scramble out. That's going to be holding on them, and it'll be declined. So now you're going to force them into punt on 4th and 10. You couldn't ask for a better prescription for that defense right now, Barry. Couldn't ask for it better.
What's the total yardage for them? Coronado? Yeah.
Man, Odessa High's defense has done very, very, very well. Now, 2:44, Odessa High has 3 timeouts. So if you can get some decent field position and put some plays together, go get some points before the half.
They've held them to 155 yards here in the first half. I'll give you a little more detail on that in just a moment. So they're going to kick the ball away. Broncos will have the ball to wrap up the first half. We're going to get away from it. Oh, my goodness, no.
Yeah, he just muffed the punt there, Barry. I think if he had to do it all over again, he would have run up and caught it in the air, let the ball bounce, and then once it bounced a second time, watch our replay, it's going to bounce here, and now it becomes a problem. You know, worst comes to worst, run away from it and don't touch it. You still have possession of the ball. That's a learning experience for that deep returner there. And now the Bronco defense has to come in and step up again.
So Gray and company will start now from the Bronco 18-yard line after the muff. Yeah, when that thing's bouncing around, it's not round. It doesn't bounce where you want it to. Just get away from it, let the offense come out. But a turnover, first of the night for the Broncos. Now we'll set Gray and his offense up deep in Bronco territory. It's incomplete. Had a man open but could not connect. As again, good coverage.
And that's good route pattern running by the Mustangs right there. Good scheme by the Mustang offensive coaching staff. That was open coming across the middle, but good coverage, as you said. Going back to the punt, Barry, I coached, one of the things we would tell our kids, if we want them to give away, we'd give them a call. We'd scream it from the sideline and have everybody scream it to tell everybody on the punt return team, get away from it.
I bet they were screaming that, weren't they?
Well, it's hard to say. There's a screen pass open.
Yeah, they're going to get a lot of yardage. May get this one in the end zone. Nope, going to get him down at the 7-yard line, so it's going to be 1st and goal from there as they dump it off to Manuel.
Watch it set up. The back's just going to work his way to the left. 2 big linemen out in front. Then he does a good job of improvising and running to daylight. And on the bottom of that pile, again for the Broncos, number 17, that's Alex Perales again making the play. But not before the Coronado Mustangs now, with the clock running at 1:50, are 1st and goal at the Broncos 7.5, 8-yard line.
Emmanuel had 7 catches before tonight. And hand it off to him, and he's going to get a couple. He's still going. And he's in the end zone for the score from 7 yards out. So the Munoz muff It's cost the Broncos with 6 on the board and the extra point to come.
And good play up front by their offensive line, just a zone scheme. Tried to work his way to the left, ran through a tackle there, and Michael Gonzalez making the play, but not before he's in the end zone, actually rolling over the top of Michael there to put the 13th point of the game for the Mustangs on the board.
Looking to add the 14th. And our new score now with 1:36 to play before half. Broncos 20 and the Mustangs 14.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Hoke and Thorpe CPAs and Mannix Physical Therapy and Ortho Sports Specialists. Well, after the muff punt, 7-yard run by Manuel, 3 plays, 18 yards in 56 seconds. And the score's been narrowed to 20-14. Manuel's 4th rushing score of the season.
Still time to get some points for this Bronco offense before the half, Barry. They're going to pooch it. And a good fair catch call and a good safe catch right there. Looks like it's is that 99? I think that's number 99. Might be 89. Jacob Munoz.
Yep, same kid.
Yep. Good play.
Did the right thing there.
Yeah, he did. So now you have decent field position.
And I tell you, before the game's over, I bet he redeems himself with a big catch.
I bet he does too. I'm totally with you. He'll make it up.
He is a good player.
He is.
Things happen. So starting now from the 27-yard line, minute and a half, 1:36 actually. So you think they're just going to do that belly run by the quarterback?
Well, they've got a back in the backfield now, so I think they may play action off of it. I won't say they won't run the ball because that certainly is a possibility here. But I think this gives them a little more versatility offensively. Oh, my goodness. That was an improvised play right there, Bear. They were going to throw the screen out here to the back, and he didn't throw it, and then the back just worked his way up the field and found really an open position there between the flat and the linebackers. But he just didn't look it in. The ball was a little low, but he didn't look it in and get up the field, and now the clock stopped with 1:30. They're 2nd and 10. This is a big play. I think it's a big play right now.
You certainly want to keep the ball for the duration of the second quarter. Don't want to give it back to them with any time on the clock whatsoever. 2nd down, going to run the ball here. Laura looking for some running room to get a little bit, and Coronado probably will call a timeout. They have 3 of them.
And you're exactly right. That's what they're going to do.
So we'll take it with them. Back to Ratliff in a moment. Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Complex Community, Federal Credit Union, Medical Center Hospital, and Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory. Big 3rd down play, huh?
Big 3rd down play. 3rd and 10.
Got to get to the 37.
Really need to keep this drive alive.
Well, he does complete the pass. No, he does not. Falls incomplete. Caulfield, the intended target. There defensively for Coronado.
They wouldn't have had the first down if they'd have caught it anyway, Barry.
It was Davis, and it falls incomplete. So now you're going to give them a little bit of time. Oh, my goodness. Minute 13.
And a timeout left for them. I'd like to see the same thing I said on the last punt. Kick it to a sideline and let it roll and get out of bounds and get some field position for your defense.
Now McClure needs to get about a 45-yarder here.
That's a much better punt. Much better punt.
Calls for a fair catch at the 34-yard line. And so we've got the last minute, 15 seconds, minute 10 seconds of the ball game. Minute 5, actually. Minute and 5 seconds of the first half. Well, let's get your assessment of first 2 quarters.
Well, the first 2 quarters, I would say the advantage still goes to Odessa High School. I think for the most part, they've played very well, especially their defense. When you consider they've had 3 drives in this first half that have given Coronado a short field to work with. The Odessa High offense has done some things to put some points on the board, but the costly turnover on the punt return has given Coronado some life. It's given them some momentum. And with a timeout in a minute 5 and the way they sling this ball around, they've got a chance to put points on the board before the half is over.
So it's going to be 1st and 10. Gray again getting some pressure. Just throws the ball up. That's pickable. Nope, threw the thing out of bounds, landed in a tuba. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
I'm surprised he didn't keep rolling this way and throw it to the inside slot receiver running the out route down here. He was wide open. He was a little worried about the pressure coming from the end over here. I think that may be Washington.
Looks like he can be rattled.
Well, that was my key. I think any quarterback, I don't care who you are, if you get pressured and get rattled, you're going to hurry the ball and make some throws that you don't want to make. Even in the pros, that happens.
All right.
Even Tom Brady does it. As
really?
Good as he is, absolutely.
The King?
The King.
So 2nd and 10, they're going to do a little shovel pass.
Yep.
Shovel pass is going to get them close to the first down. Going to be about a half a yard short, maybe a full yard short out to the 43-yard line.
I think this is Tony Carrasco on a replay here making the play. Nope, I'm corrected. It's Michael Gonzalez again, Barry. He's had an outstanding first half for this Bronco defense to make that play.
Down to 33 seconds. They're going to get the first down. They had a shot at him in the backfield, but instead he's going to get to midfield and maybe take the last time out there.
C.J.
7 yards on that carry.
C.J. Washington making the play from the defensive end position, but that's okay. They're letting the clock run for some reason here with 17 seconds left.
And I'm sure the Coach Parr is going to be yelling at the officials saying, hey, guys, you're not supposed to restart it until you reset the first down markers.
Odessa High has called a timeout, Barry, to talk strategy here.
And we'll take it with them. Be back in a moment.
What's freshness? It's Taco Villa's unique heart-shaped tortilla chips combined with creamy cheddar cheese, guacamole, and more. It's a soft, warm-filled bun with Taco Villa beef that's made fresh several times each day. It's a handmade burrito overflowing with perfectly grilled chicken, garden vegetables, and cheddar cheese. Taco Villa cooks your favorites all day long to ensure freshness you can taste. Taco Villa, freshness fanatics love.
E&E Service and Supply is your leader in well service supplies and rig packages. We manufacture oil savers, rod transfers, rod strippers, pipe wiper blocks, weight indicators and pads, rope sockets, drop valves, guy line blocks, swab mandrels, fishing tools, slip cylinders for Advance, BJ, and Giberson, and a whole lot more. Please come by E&E Service and Supply at 3501 Brazos.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by State Farm Insurance Agent Mike Podzimny and also by Texas Burger. Now let's see if the Bronco defense can force some happy feet. They do connect, and they're going to get down to the 35-yard line, still a ways away from field goal territory. Morrison on the catch and run, all the way from the 50-yard line down to the 35, so he picks up 15.
Slot
runs out of bounds with 8 seconds?
Yep, slot receiver ran the out right there, Barry, just to get some yards and field position on down into Bronco territory. If they get something quick here, I could see them calling a timeout or
Do they have
lining up
one
for a
left?
field. They have one timeout left.
Yep, so they're going to have to complete the pass. They throw, that doesn't make any sense whatsoever.
You should have thrown the out route again because, look, it's wide open over on the far side.
So
they
this
would have been inside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, so it's either going to be a 52-yard attempt for 3 points, or it's going to be a chunk it and hope for a flag.
Hail Mary, Barry. Might be a Hail Mary. They're going to probably put.
Where did that term first come into?
You know, I heard Roger Staubach say that one time.
You're right.
From the Hail Mary against the Vikings in like 75 or 6 playoffs.
Threw the ball to who?
Drew Pearson.
That's right. That's the first time that term was ever used. And they have called a timeout. Be back in a moment.
Remarkable. That's what we like to hear from our robotic surgery patients when they talk about their experience. At Odessa Regional Medical Center, our surgical team is dedicated to getting you back to the things you enjoy most. And with robotic surgery, that's even easier. For Jamie, her successful robotic procedure allowed her to return to work and traveling remarkably fast. At ORMC, we want to help you return to the things that matter. We love what we do, and we think it shows.
I am ORMC proud.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Our Trans Global Productions and Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by BCM and Associates, the Oilfield Undertaker, and Nimbus Drinking Water System. So you had a story about Fran Tarkenton?
Fran Tarkenton was a quarterback for the Vikings in that game, and his father actually suffered a heart attack on that play at the end of the game. And it was really tough on Fran to have to deal with that, and his father losing the game and his father. And you're exactly right. You watched that; it was on TV the other day. I saw it, and boy, you're right. I think Drew might have pushed off. Now they're going to try this 52-yard field goal.
So they're going to see if Gage Urias can hit from 52 yards.
After Odessa High calls another timeout.
Going to freeze the kicker. We'll be back in a moment.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Crave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Back at Ratliff Stadium, we've got 1 second left in the first half. Broncos have the narrow 20-14 lead, and Gage Urias is on the field for Lubbock Coronado to try a 52-yard field goal.
Yeah, and Odessa High has frozen the kicker again, Barry. They're really worried about him making this.
They just called back-to-back timeouts.
Yes, they did.
Back in a moment.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the Oilfield Undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Texas Burger, deep in the heart of Texans for 50 years.
Well, the Broncos have no more timeouts, cannot do any more freezing of the kicker. So let's see if Urias can put 3 on the board for the Mustangs, or if the Broncos will go to the locker room with a 6-point edge. What you thinking?
I think he's going to be short. He's short. He's short and left. Short and left.
And we have played 1 half here at Ratliff Stadium. Thanks for being with us. at the end of 2 quarters. Broncos have the lead at 20-14 over Lubbock Coronado.
Wood looks are the hottest flooring style going for today's beautiful homes. Paul Evans buys big pallets of gorgeous wood look vinyl plank, porcelain tile, waterproof core, and of course, real wood flooring, and we pass the savings on to you. From our best-selling budget vinyl plank to our unbelievable real wood flooring, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Texas Burger, serving great hamburgers and more for 50 years.
The Broncos lead as we're just about ready to come on the field for the second half of play tonight here at Ratliff Stadium. Galindo on a 41-yard pass from his quarterback Smith. Laura with an 80-yard run. 51-yard pass, Smith to Caulfield. Last year, Quay Gray, 375 yards, 8 touchdowns. Tonight, a little different story.
A lot different, Barry. I tell you, if you look at this game statistically, just look at Quay Gray's numbers from a year ago to now. He's only got 13 yards rushing on 3 carries. He's 13 of 22 for 133 yards passing. If you look at this game, you would think Coronado in some instances statistically should be winning. 9 first downs to only 4 for Odessa High, but yet Odessa High has hit a couple of big plays from the line of scrimmage. A long touchdown run from Josh Lara, who has 80 yards on 6 carries. Trey Smith's got 4 for 38 on the ground. If you look at throwing the ball and catching, Tyrone Caulfield had a long touchdown reception, 2 receptions for 48 yards. And Juan Galindo has 2 catches for 46 yards and a touchdown. Trey Smith was 6 of 11 for 125 yards. Odessa High has 243 yards of total offense in the first half to 196. I think the Odessa High defense is pretty, for the most part, as we talked about in that first half a couple times, man, they've really stepped up and played, considering 3 drives that I can think of right offhand in that first half were really with a short field for Coronado to use.
Yeah, 243 in the first half. They had 241 all of last week in 4 quarters against Amarillo High. One final note on Gray's game last year, the 375 yards. The top 2 passing days ever against an Odessa High defense were both Lubbock Coronado quarterbacks. Chris Camp in 2008 threw for the 399, and then last year Gray with 375. But boy, they've done a number on him tonight. Tale of 2 cities.
Yep.
Let's hope that can continue. So now the second half begins with The opponent having the ball and trailing 20-14.
First 5 minutes of this third quarter, Barry, I think are really key right now. One possession game. Will the Odessa High defense still continue to make this guy nervous? I'm talking about their quarterback, Quay Gray, and make him make some errors. They've had a couple of interceptions as well. And you can see on the first down play right there, the guy of the night for the Broncos, one of them defensively is Tony Carrasco. Watch him shoot the gap coming from the south end, right in through that open area, and gets him on the ground for a 2-yard loss. Perfect.
Yep, back to the 34, so it's going to be 2nd and 12. They did do a good job of giving Gray some happy feet there in the first half, forcing him to tuck it and run or shoot passes over and under his receivers, not being on target. So let's see if that can continue. Going to throw it over the middle and can't make the connection. And if it held up any longer, would have been a pick.
That's a drag route we saw from the slot receiver in the first half. He did the same thing there, just working his way behind the defensive line of the Broncos, trying to work his way across the field. Had it open, but that pass was a little behind and high. You're right. If that had been up in the air about a second longer, it would have been another pick.
Yeah, it might have been a pick 6. So now 3rd and 12. Need to put some pressure on him. Here comes some pressure. Does have a receiver over the middle. Does have it. But he's going to be, they're going to mark him about a half a yard beyond what he needed for the first.
Well,
so John Hernandez will have the sticks moved. Well, it's going to be 1st and 10.
Look here, Barry. The top guy is the one that's going to give it to him for the first down. But this guy down here had him actually about a half yard behind that. The officials are going to take a look at this and see if it is indeed a first down. They're going to measure, and boy, I thought when he came back he actually gave up a half to a full yard.
That's what I was thinking.
I thought maybe they were going to give him that spot behind. Again, our referee is Jesse Mendoza, the umpire Steve Markham, line judge is Randall Morris, the head linesman Johnny Lasoya, and the back judge is Johnny Gutierrez. Again, another Permian Basin chapter crew, and they've done pretty good. See if they get this first down. Going to get it by the nose of the football.
Yep, strike. So 1st and 10 now from the 46-yard line, just enough to move the chains. Just beginning seconds of the second half, 20-14. Broncos leading this one. Very solid first half on both sides of the ball, as I mentioned a second ago. Already more yardage in the first half than they had all of last week's game. And they hand the ball off inside. He's got about 5 yards, maybe 6. And going to be down inside Bronco territory would go Manuel.
For 34 for the Broncos making the play there. Barry coming from the linebacker or outside end position over there. Good job of getting outside and filling. That is Devin Huerta making the play.
So 2nd and 5. Here comes the pressure.
Yep.
They've got him. Finally, they've got him. He didn't see that guy coming, did he? That was good.
That was number 34 again. Watch him come on the outside right here. He and C.J. Washington both on an outside blitz coming from the right side of the Coronado Mustang offense. Good job and a good call by Coach Anastasio there to bring some heat. Again, Devin Huerta making the play. And now it's 3rd and long. Don't let them out of the hole here and get the football back.
Huerta's sack is going to set him up at 3rd and 10. Back at the 46-yard line. He got in there in a hurry, and Gray had no chance against him. And then here comes the rest of them. Well, the shovel pass made famous by the Midland Bulldogs in this part of the country will go nowhere, and they're going to have to punt their first rattle out of the box here in the second half.
Watch Devin Huerta come from the outside again. He read it and took a good angle to the ball along with Cade Mendoza making the play. 2 blitzes from the outside there have shut this Coronado offense down. And now the Broncos have to get the ball back, take care of it here. We saw this a problem on one of the possessions there at the end of the second quarter. Get possession here no matter what.
Munoz and McClure will be back there.
Let your offense have the football. It's not even going to have a chance because it went out of bounds, I think somewhere right around the 23-yard line. It'll be the 22, actually.
So the Broncos will be back on offense for the first time here in the second half. And let me ask you again, What do you, if you're talking at halftime to these guys, what would you have told them?
I would say think about execution right now, play by play from an offensive standpoint. You did a good job of mixing the run and the pass in that first half. Put a drive together here and get a touchdown would even be great because that'll give you a 2-score game at 13. But execute and make some things happen offensively.
Yeah, I would say, rack up some first downs, but first down goes backwards about 4.
Wow, we may have a penalty here on the play. No, they're just going to allow this Bronco player. You can see him coming off there, got his helmet taken off. He's telling the referee that the defender actually pulled his helmet off, but he didn't get the call. Going to be second and about 14.
Yep.
He's busted through off that left side of their defensive line and got penetration for that 4-yard loss.
Yep, going to be second down now from the 19-yard line. They started from the 23. Going to hand it right back off to Lara, who gets back where what he lost. No, he didn't, not quite. He gets about a yard back, so it's still going to bring up a 3rd and 12. And it's very critical to keep drives alive, but now facing 3rd and long.
That's a good play by, their defensive side of the ball, number 93, Tasman Paul, a 5'11", 165-pound senior, busted through to make that play happen for an absolute no-yard gain. So now here we are behind the chains on 3rd and 14.
That's Julian Galindo on the screen, by the way.
Get what you can and give your punt team a chance to punt and flip the field again. See if they throw the screen out here. Nope, gonna throw it.
Well, he had a nice clean pocket.
I think he's going to have the first down, Barry.
No, he's going to be about 2 yards.
Look down here.
Yeah, you're right.
This is the little in route. Watch, good throw.
That was Galindo.
And they're going to give him forward progress up to the 35-yard line. Good catch, good execution.
And a good mark.
And a good mark for another Bronco first down.
Had to get to the 33. They mark him at the 35, and so the first down is made. And the Broncos will retain the ball now. 1st and 10 from their 35-yard line. We are early in the 3rd. Lara, they bottled up most of that first half, but boy, when he got loose and had a little bit of running room, he went 80 yards in a hurry. Like a cannonball shot out of a cannon, and they had no shot at catching him. He gets 5 here and brings up 2nd and 5. Now, we haven't seen what they were reverting to late in that first half, and that is with Smith keeping the ball.
Yeah, when they did some of that with an empty backfield, only with Smith in the backfield. So they're now committed to having a back in the pistol formation, and they're going to pound the ball and see if they can wear this team down a little bit. There it is again, right up the middle on the zone read. Not much there, maybe a full yard. That's about it. They're getting good penetration right now. I'm talking about Coronado.
Yeah, they're going to need 4 now on 3rd down. So let's see what they dial up. Who's the offensive coordinator for the Broncos?
Offensive coordinator is Dean Garza. He's an Odessa High graduate. Coached here in the Odessa system for a while. He was at Allen as the running backs, and I think he had some offensive coordinating duties there when Allen won a couple of state championships. He is also being helped by Tate Smith, who has Odessa ties, the Permian quarterback in 2005 and 6. And they're really installing a good offense for this Broncos. Play action, going to let him run. Oh, boy. This is going to be close. I thought he was going to break through there.
I thought he was, but looks like half a yard. Depends on where they mark it. He has to touch the 35-yard line.
Here's the zone read. He actually just kept it. And boy, that kid right there did a good job of pursuing down the line of scrimmage from the backside. They're a full yard short. Let's see what Coach Servance is going to do here on his end.
I said 35. They have to touch the 45.
They're going to go for it, Barry. Looks like they might try to draw him off here.
I think they're simply going to try to draw him off and then call a timeout. That's what they're going to do.
Oh, looky there. Looky there.
So they have the first down and a little bit more down into Coronado territory as they get the ball out there to Julian Galindo again. And Galindo's going to be down to the 45-yard line for a gain of 9, for a gain of 11. Good thing is Kyle Hubbard moving the chains, keeping the ball, and playing keep away.
Quick pop pass to the inside receiver, Barry. They didn't have anybody over the top of him close.
That was gutsy.
It was gutsy, and all it was just catch, turn, throw the ball, and allow him to get in space and get the first down.
Now, did you see if they had too many in the box down here and forced the throw?
No, I think that was designed all the way. I think that's what they wanted to do. Watch here, they got a blitz coming off the corner. At least they showed it. And again, the right side of the Bronco offensive line is allowing penetration on first down, not allowing Lara to get any momentum or a head of steam up. They've made some adjustments as well. That's a 3-yard loss. I think maybe the idea is to throw a little bit on first down and get them on their heels a little bit, because they've taken run away on first down, really.
Broncos have had the ball for 5 minutes on this drive, which is exactly what the doctor ordered. Now they're going to throw it. Either that or Smith's going to have to keep it, and he just gets wrestled to the ground and could not get away from that big behemoth. And they're going to get him back to the 47-yard line to force 3rd and long.
I don't know if we can see this again or not, but I think maybe he made the wrong read. Thank you, Debbie. Watch and see if he's looking at the end. He saw the end come up, should have given the ball and let Lara get on around the end. Instead, he kept it and tried to go around this end. Lost a couple more yards there. I think he would have had to do it all over again. He'd made a different read there.
3rd and 17, have to get down to the Coronado 35-yard line on 3rd down. Smith is going to be bottled up, and he's not going to be able to get away, and they're going to have to punt the ball away. Well, he tried to gain a little extra time by scooting off to his right, but then ran into the back of one of his linemen, and that bottled him up, and they got him on the ground, and now they're going to have to depend on the foot of McClure. Boy, we need a good punt here, don't we?
Watch. He tried to step up in the pocket, like you said, to make a throw, and one of his offensive linemen, I think that may even be it's Majors, the right guard, just bumped into him and knocked him off his path. Now, as you said, they're going to have to punt, and it's actually not bad because his knee touched down after he caught it at the Coronado first down. I like what you said, Barry. I think it's absolutely true. The main thing about that drive is you took 5-6 minutes off the clock. It's already down to 2:30 in the 3rd quarter. So now you've given your defense a chance to adjust on the sideline after the first drive, come out on the 2nd drive here, have some rest, and see if you can stop them and get the ball back.
Took 6 minutes and 27 seconds off the clock on that drive, and that's a win-win chicken dinner. Winner chicken dinner. So with the 6-point lead, now they have Coronado backed up to their 27-yard line. 1st and 10. Gray will hand it off. It's going to be an end around. And they're not going to get anything on that one. They try to get Blair Conright coming around, and Conrad's going to be dropped for a loss.
The reason that happened, Barry, is because the right side of the Bronco defense do what you teach those guys. When the ball's away from them, stay home. That's exactly right. They stayed home and waited for that whole play to develop and tackled him for a 3-yard loss.
That was Conright's first rush of the season. He is their leading receiver, but the first time they've tried the running route with him. Here comes some pressure. He gets away from it, but is going to get his legs taken out from under him and going to get about a little bit of yardage. That was up there to make the tackle on him was Washington. Got enough of an ankle to nosedive him into the turf.
Good outside pursuit, and once he got around the quarterback, he didn't quit, just kept on coming and working his way back to him, and took his ankles out once it got around past him for really only got about 4 yards. Here's another big 3rd and long.
10.
3rd and 10 for the Bronco defense.
Down inside a minute and a half to play in the quarter. Been a fast quarter after a very slow 2nd quarter. 3rd and 10. Here comes some pressure. And did his knee hit?
Nope, but he's in a world of hurt.
Oh, he's in a world of hurt. Going to push it back all the way to the 17-yard line. And again, the defense comes up big.
Watch Joseph Chavez right here. He's at the top of the screen. It's eventually going to come around to him, and Joseph is fast enough and takes a good pursuit angle to force him out of bounds. I'm talking about Gray again. And, boy, the Bronco defense has really done an outstanding job on 2 Coronado possessions here in this third quarter.
You know, the thing is, when they got that pressure on him, he takes his eyes from downfield, and once that happens, you've got him.
Yeah, he's nervous. He hasn't seen a defense like this one in the first 2 weeks. Well, again, another miscue on the punt return here, Barry, is going to give life to the Coronado team again.
Well, a fumble in the muff on the punt. Back there to receive the kick, but not able to handle it was McClure. And so once again, the defense does a great job, but the special teams let them down, and now it's going to be Coronado coming up near midfield with a 1st and 10.
And see, there's another example, Barry. He's not really in good position and balance to make that catch. If you can't do it cleanly, holler something, whatever your call is, to get everybody away from it and get away from it.
So now starting from the Bronco 47-yard line, it's going to be 1st and 10 for Coronado. And the defense gut it up one more time. Well, they had him in the backfield for a loss, but Manuel able to get away and get a yard out of nothing.
Joseph Chavez again. Watch him come from the bottom side here. Actually, he's on the right side. I missed it. But the pursuit from the outside by Washington and some of those other guys allowed Chavez to get up there and make the play again.
Only got a yard, so 2nd and 9. Going to hand it off again, and he's got a lot of yards. Down to the 35-yard line will go Manuel. And it's going to be 1st and 10 Coronado as we are quickly running out of time in the third quarter.
A little delayed draw from them on the offensive side there. Good job of seeing and run ball now. Boy, I tell you, so whoever made that play right there just saved a touchdown. I think this might be a block. It's actually going to be a hold on Coronado here, but whoever made that ankle-saving tackle right there saved a touchdown for the Broncos.
Oh, it would have come back anyway.
Well, it would have, but man, 2 plays now. They're running little delayed draws and allowing the back to pick a hole on that 3-man front of Odessa High. They've had 2 good running plays. This one, as Barry said, is going to be nullified by a holding penalty. Looks like from the spot, it's going to be about the 25-yard line, so take it back 10.
And that will be the end of the third quarter. So when we come back, we'll see where the spot is marked. And it should be a very exciting fourth quarter. Broncos, can the defense hold? Can the offense do something to pull the win out? At the end of 3, we're still where we were at the end of the first half. 20 for the Broncos and 14 for Lubbock Coronado.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper. Grave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He's spraying Dr. Pepper 'cause he's out of Dr. Pepper.
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the oil-filled undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe plus equipment for sale. BCMandassociates.com. The Oilfield Undertaker.
Paul Evans' huge selection of in-stock hardwood, vinyl, tile, and carpeting lets the Paul Evans customer fall in love with their actual floors instead of having to choose off of a tiny sample. Here at Paul Evans Flooring, we love big rolls of carpet, big pallets of flooring, and of course, big savings for you. From budget to unbelievable, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Odessa College and the Permian Basin area-wide phone book. So as we begin the fourth quarter of play, the penalty is going to be marked back to the 35-yard line. It's going to be first down from that point. The penalty came 10 yards into the play. Well, they found something in the running game.
They have, and if you watch here, they're going to kick the end out and get the inside linebacker. Watch. Kick the end out. Looked at the inside linebacker get blocked by, that might have been an H or a receiver. But you're right. They've made some changes in their running game, and now they are finding some alleys to run in up front.
Caleb Manuel got 15 on that one, so it's going to be first and 10 from the 20. Trailing only by 6. Coronado with the ball, and we've just begun the fourth quarter. Going to throw it here. Nope. Going to hand it off inside. Again, he's got running room, and he's going to score. He's going to be into the end zone from 20 yards away, and an extra point away from taking the lead. Man, two muffs in the kicking game have cost the Broncos big time.
Got to win the kicking game, Barry. It's a third important part of the game. Just like offense and defense, you can't have turnovers in it. They've had a short field to work at, and watch here, as you saw, they just found something that they can get an alley in on the run game, and once he broke the line of scrimmage, he just went to the goal line. That's just good execution on their part. You know, two bad turnovers in the kicking game.
And it's 21-20. Coronado on top for the first time tonight with 11:17 to play in the ball game.
There's a new rising star shining over West Texas. Odessa College is one of the top 4 community colleges in the United States. 5 years after completion, OC graduates earn twice as much as all other workers in the region. First-time Odessa College students can qualify for first-class free scholarships. Imagine more. Imagine yourself at Odessa College. Call 432-335-6400.
Our Trans Global Production Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Forest Brothers Tire and Alignment and by Diamond Pump and Transport. The second touchdown of the night for Manuel. This one from 20 yards out. 4 plays, minute and 30 to go, 56 yards.
And the 2 turnovers in the kicking game, Barry, especially on punt return, have
14 points.
14 turned into 14 points for Coronado. And, you know, we talked about how Odessa High has kind of dominated the game in certain phases, but 2 turnovers are not good. Them turnovers will get you beat if you're not careful.
Well, last week against Amarillo, they were cruising at 28-7, and then suddenly seemed like they got just fatigued all of a sudden and gave up those 2 huge runs. And well, let's hope we're not seeing the same thing again tonight.
And the OHS offense now has to take the initiative. They have to reestablish dominance at the line of scrimmage up front and execute with their skill people right now. That sounds very easy, but when you've had some things not go your way, you've got to go out and execute. This is why you do all that work and practice and during off season and during your summer workouts.
Yeah, those 2 runs, by the way, were 68 and 31-yard runs for TDs.
They're going to run quarterback here, I think.
That's what you're thinking?
Or the sweep. Nope. There it is.
Smith is going to keep it and run right up in the middle for no gain.
Well, when they go empty with the quarterback, they know right now they're either going to run quarterback draw or quarterback power. When they brought that guy in motion, thought they might sweep him out to the sideline over there, but he decided to keep it and run up inside and got nothing.
Well, that 6-minute drive was absolutely perfect, followed by a great defensive stand, but then one mistake in the kicking game, and now you have to get on the board again. You cannot play keep away. You have to score because you're down by 1 because of an earlier missed extra point.
Here it comes again. That's the quarterback power play coming from the left side with a guard over to the right. They did execute it there a little better for about 5 or 6, actually 5 yards, and now it's going to be a big 3rd and 5. Don't want to go 3 and out here, Barry. I really believe you don't.
Smith has 30 yards rushing tonight. It'll be 3rd and 5 is right. The ball has to touch the 35-yard line for a first, and you're exactly right. You do not want to have to bring the punter out.
And that ball's passed behind him. If it's in front, he catches it and gets first down.
Yeah, try to hit Caulfield and hit behind him instead of in front of him, and they are going to have to ask McClure to come out. Now, the last time he kind of pushed a long line drive looking thing that pinned him back a little deeper than they had been. So let's see if he employs the same type of punting technique.
I think he's going to punt it over here to this side of the field, Barry. I'm going to call it here. And actually, it's right down the middle. You got to cover here. Get on it. Don't let lose any more field position. Good coverage, not bad. They're going to start at their own 33. A little further back, not as good offensive field position. Now the Bronco defense has to rise up and make something happen here right now.
Yeah, they started from the 27 a moment ago, so only a 5-yard difference, but McClure does the job. And now the defense that has played so well, but suddenly was getting eat up in the running game. Let's see if they can retool.
I'd be a little worried about fatigue right now, Barry, defensively. Defensive side of the ball. I'd be a little worried about fatigue right now. Your conditioning has to kick in now.
1st and 10 now for Quay and the offense of Coronado's Mustangs.
Nothing.
And absolutely nothing. Run into the teeth of that defense, and he's down for the count.
Joseph Chavez from the defensive end position, but they brought a blitz on that play. I'm talking about the defensive side of the Bronco team. They brought a blitz there. That play was absolutely going for nothing. Actually ended up losing 2 yards.
Yep, going to be 2nd down at the 30. Actually lost 3, so it's going to be 2nd and 13.
You want 3rd and long here.
Yep, and that means you've got to put pressure on him here, make him step up and throw an errant pass or try to run it out. Here comes some pressure. He does have the ability to throw the ball. He does. Is it incomplete? Conrad could not come up with it. And it will be 3rd and Kyle's wish, 3rd and long.
Good defensive coverage by the secondary and linebackers of Odessa High there.
They've really been doing a good job on that all night, Kyle.
Yes, they have. And
you'll see CJ step up here.
You're going to make them really nervous here now. Watch quarterback draw. See if there's your pressure now. Don't let him run for a first down. Oh, did he catch it? Nope, out of bounds.
Juggling the ball out of bounds. They will have to kick. So we still brings up what I mentioned a moment ago. Now you've got to get on the board, so you can't simply just play keep away, run a 6-minute drive, and be satisfied. You've got to get at least 3.
Make sure that you get possession here. We don't want to hammer that too much, but it's very important right now that you field the ball and give yourself some field position offensively to work with.
Yeah, field it even if that means calling a fair catch.
Or if you can't get to it, get away. That's a great punt. There you go. Oh, he's got a wall. Watch out. Watch out. That's good punt team work right there, punt return work right there, Barry.
All the way down to the 38-yard line. McClure did the heavy lifting, but a lot of good blocks downfield sprung him deep into Coronado territory.
Did you see that block at the wall there? Perfectly done, up high and in front so that you don't commit a punt return infraction. Great job. Man, look, a short field for your offense to work with now. Put some pressure on their defense.
Yeah, going to start at the 38-yard line. Only one score here in the second half, and that was that 28-yard run by Manuel that moved Coronado into the lead. Broncos have to get at least 3 points to get the lead. He spins it out for an 8-yard gain. That's a good play on first down.
Quick little pop pass to the slot receiver.
Galindo.
And he got a good block on the outside out there to give him 6 or 7 yards on first down. Now you can kind of call whatever you want on 2nd and 4.
Yeah, well, they gave it to the 32, so it's going to be 2nd and 4 is right. That's correct. They have to get down to the 28-yard line for a first. So Smith, look for him to carry the ball here.
Go vertical.
You're gonna say throw it, huh?
Go vertical down here. It's open. Nope.
Now they're going to do an end around. Needs to get a block. They got a little bit of a block. They got Galindo down inside the 25-yard. Galindo is moving the scrum all the way down to the 21. That is Galindo, right?
That is Galindo. This is the jet sweep coming from the slot. Ian down here played it pretty well, but look at him get up the field there and just keep his legs going. That's a good job by him right there. And, they certainly, that is actually St. John McGarity, I think, Barry, number 18 with the ball.
Okay, I thought it was 12, but it was 18. McGarity with the run of the night so far with a 10-yard gain down to the 22-yard line. Now Odessa High not in any hurry to snap the ball. How much time is on the play clock? Let's see how much he's using.
1-0. Well, I don't know if they got it off. They are going to let him run it.
Laura didn't quite. He cut it inside rather than try to punch it all the way out to the corner, and they're going to get no gain. Maybe a loss of a half.
They barely got that play off before the play clock had expired. Just a little pitch to the back over on the outside, and Coronado did a good job of running to the ball defensively and actually forcing a 1-yard loss for the Broncos.
That's correct. So it's going to be 2nd and 11 for the Broncos. How much time is running on the clock?
Odessa High is going to talk about it, Barry. They're going to see what they want to come up with here on 2nd and 11.
So the Mustangs have the 1-point lead at 21-20. 6:46 to play in the ball game. Timeout Odessa High. Back in a moment.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Crave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. Crave Rider! He's spraying Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment has kept you rolling since 1944. With 3 generations of ownership and 4 generations of management, Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment carries the complete lines of Michelin and BF Goodrich. And we offer more than just tires, be it brakes or shocks. Your vehicle's best friend is Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment. With 24-hour road service, you can count on us for all your tire and automotive needs. Forrest Brothers Tire and Alignment, with the largest fleet of service trucks in West Texas.
Our Trans Global Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week brought to you in part by Security Bank and E&E Service and Supply. Now, you've looked in your playbook, and what have you come up with?
I'd like to see them, of course, they're not lined up in that position here, Barry, but the slot inside, I'd like to see them run a corner route with the slot down here.
Did he get a first down at the 12-yard line? Laura, nope, it's going to be Smith keeping it. Smith got away. Man, I thought they had him for a 3-yard loss. He's going to be down to the 18-yard line and a manageable third down.
That is good hustle and athleticism by Smith. Watch him. He's dead right there, Barry. But he just keeps his legs going, slips out of a tackle, and turns nothing into a 4-yard gain. It's now 3rd and 6. Let's see if they put a slot or even 3 receivers down here. I still say the end zone is a good way to go right here. So they're going to have 3 receivers out here with only 2 defenders. See if they throw the screen out here, Barry, with the slot guy. They don't have anybody out here on him.
3rd down and 5.
Quarterback draw. Quarterback power.
Ran right in the back of his left guard. Oh, my goodness. What do you do now, Kyle?
If you have a field goal kicker that can kick this, I think you take the points. I'm not sure Odessa High does. They're bringing somebody on the field. Maybe they do have a kicker that can. This would be about 40 yards. Let's see if they decide to line up for a field goal here, and I think they are. This is going to be right at about 37 yards to take the lead. Let's see if they execute and make it happen. Like to see that happen.
Well, this will be a kick of 36 yards, and it is short of the mark and falls to the turf. So the Broncos' valiant effort will now depend on the defense to get the ball back and give them one more shot.
Wood looks are the hottest flooring style going for today's beautiful homes. Paul Evans buys big pallets of gorgeous wood look vinyl plank, porcelain tile, waterproof core, and of course, real wood flooring, and we pass the savings on to you. From our best-selling budget vinyl plank to our unbelievable real wood flooring, Paul Evans has the perfect floors for your home.
Diamond Pump and Transport LLC specializes in oil field transportation. We are locally owned and operated and do business in the Permian Basin and West Texas areas. We also provide hot oil service, acid pumping, water hauling, tank cleaning, and other types of oil field transport and hauling services. We invite you to call us today. Diamond Pump and Transport LLC, 432-617-8084.
Try Texas Burger's new Banana Royale. You'll love it.
Welcome back to Ratliff Stadium for our Transglobal Productions Dr. Pepper Game of the Week. It's going to be 1st and 10. Just a little bit over 5 minutes to play in the ball game. Going to run the ball and lose about 6. Just a great job again by the Bronco D.
C.J. Washington from his end position. Watch him get outside and have leverage. Guy didn't get him blocked, kept his outside shoulder free and made the play for a 5-yard loss. You can't play better defensive end technique than C.J. Washington just did.
Thanks to Complex Community Federal Credit Union, Rosa's Cafe and Tortilla Factory, and Medical Center Hospital. Some of our sponsors that make these Fridays, some Thursdays, and some Saturdays possible. Going to be 2nd down. Quay Gray taking all the time he wants to. Down to 4.5 now to play in the ball game. They have the 1-point lead. After a 63-point explosion last year, the Broncos have held them to 21, but a missed extra point has the red and white trailing by 1 in the final 4.5 minutes. Timeout. Lubbock Coronado will be back in a moment.
Wake up to eggs cooked to perfection, savory bacon, sausage and chorizo, and hot, fresh flour tortillas. Drive through for breakfast at Rosa's Cafe. Rosa's combines all your favorites into tasty breakfast tacos and serves them hot and fresh to get your day started right. Or try Rosa's Migas plate with beans and potatoes. Feeding a group? Rosa's breakfast taco platter is the perfect fit. So rise and shine. Life and breakfast is better at Rosa's Cafe.
Back to Ratliff Stadium, final 4.5 minutes of the ball game. Broncos defense facing a 2nd and 15 in a must-stop situation. Here comes the pressure. They have the receiver, and the receiver gets it right in the belly, and he's down on the turf. A good catch and a great tackle.
Watch it. He just stays at home because there are crossing routes coming underneath. He just stays there and waits for him. Who is that? Oh, gee, big surprise. Michael Gonzalez again.
That's Devin Morrison on the catch. And got a belly full of defender. at the 20-yard line facing a 3rd and 15. He stays in the ball game, but boy, was that a hit.
Michael Gonzalez has been all over the place tonight for this Bronco defense, Barry. He is unofficially having for 10 tackles, and I'm sure I've missed one in there somewhere. Looky here. Take a good angle. Take a good angle. He's not going anywhere.
He sticks that ball out like he's going for a first down, and he's 15 yards short, and they're going to have to punt it. So the Bronco defense has done the job with 4 minutes and 10 seconds to play in the ball game. It will come down to this next drive, I believe, by the red and white.
What did I tell you in one of the breaks? It may be who has the ball last that scores here with 4:10. Execute offensively now and put some plays together.
How about a block punt or a squib off the side of his foot? And I'll take that.
How about over his head? We'd take that too. That'd put us in the lead.
I'll also take McClure returning the kick for another 30 yards or so.
All right. Let's see. Decent punt.
It's going to be Munoz returning it from the 50. And Jacobs going to get down to the 45-yard line, so they start in Lubbock, Coronado territory.
Short field, again, good field position, as you said, Barry. Your offense has to execute now. Let's see what they come up with. You can sure bet during that last defensive series, the Bronco offensive coaches were probably talking about plays they want to put together or script to make this drive happen.
What about the one you talked about? That play that you thought they should pull out of playbook.
Well, I mean, you would think maybe they would make that play happen and talk about it. It all depends on the coverage and what you get. Here they have 3 down here again, Barry, with only 2 defenders. Throw the quick screen out here and let your 2 wide receivers get a block for you and let that runner go down the alley there.
Yep, there's nobody on the left side of the field to throw it to. Going to hand the ball off to Lara, who will get nothing. It'll be 2nd and 10. Clock started on that drive with 3:58. So we're under 4 minutes to play in the ball game. And going to be 2nd and 10 after maybe a 2nd and 9. They're going to give him a yard.
Going to do the same formation. Not going to change anything. There's an H in the backfield there just behind the line. Maybe they could run him up the seam there and get him open. How about the corner route like I talked about? There's the corner route. Watch Chase Webster. Watch Chase Webster. That's close. Wow, what a play.
Now, what were you saying on Chase Webster there?
Well, watch. This is the corner route off the end down here. Watch him. He gets behind and in an open area.
Isn't that Galindo?
Is that Galindo?
Yeah, 12.
Oh, it is. You're exactly right. My bad on that. That's still a great play. Great execution, and how about great athletic effort and ability there at the end. Broncos are at the 10-yard line. Now, they've got to score. They can't get a touchdown or a first down.
Yep, going to be 1st and goal. Going to hand it off to Lara. Lara's going to get about 1.5 yards, maybe 2. Clock continues to run. We're down inside the 3-minute mark. Of course, the best of both worlds will be to score with no time on the clock, wouldn't it?
Yeah, get it down as low as you can clockwise.
What do you call here? I mean, are you really going to set up and try to win it with a field goal, or do you want to get in the end zone?
Well, you can. He's got the leg. He showed it. It was just a little short on the last one, but I like this zone read here. Put the ball in your quarterback's hands and let him make a decision here.
Down to 2.5 minutes. Let's talk about defensive players of the game after this play. And then we'll talk about offensive players of the game as well.
Well, there it is. Quarterback sweep on the outside.
He needs to get a block. He does. He's going to be down to the 3-yard line. There's a flag on the play trailing him.
It's going to be holding.
Multiple flags and maybe holding. So defensive player of the game.
Well, I'm going to give it to number 45, Michael Gonzalez, tonight. I think he's been a force on this Bronco defense. He's unofficially with 10 tackles and an interception in this game. I think he's been the catalyst on this Bronco defense of many players that have played well tonight. C.J. Washington, talk about Tony Carrasco, talk about Devin Huerta, talk about Parker Cherry and Charles McClure. But my vote is Michael Gonzalez, the senior outside linebacker, number 45.
So they're going to mark it back from the 9 to the 19. It's going to be 2nd and goal from the 19-yard line, so you want to get half of it back here.
You want to get as much of it as you can back and get in the end zone if you can, but don't Don't force anything here. Get positive yardage, and if you have to on 4th down, go for the field goal in the lead. 2:06. Both teams have two timeouts.
You would go for it on 4th and not kick it?
No. Kick the field goal if you have to.
Okay. So he's going to pitch it back to Lara. Lara needs a block to get around the corner. He does. And he gets a little bit more than that, not a whole lot, down to the 16-yard line. So a gain of 3. Clock is now down to under the 2-minute mark. We're down to 1:51. Down to 1:50 and a timeout call there by the Broncos. So 1:50 to play in the ball game. The Broncos have the ball, trailing by 1. Now, offensive player of the game, I'm going to have to go. Let me have Larry's page there. I'm going to have to go with Trey Smith again. Trey Smith running the ball, 33 or 53. Is that 33 or 53, Larry? So 33 yards rushing to go along with 193 yards passing on 10 of 16. And to go along with that, he had touchdown passes tonight of 41 yards to Galindo and 51 yards to Caulfield. So my offensive player of the game is going to be the quarterback, Trey Smith.
10 of 16 for 193 is not bad.
Not bad, right?
Not bad, no.
It's going to be a season high for him, I believe. Yep, 120 and 126 the other 2 games.
It is.
Oh, man, he had Munoz wide open at the 5 at the 7-yard line, and they could not connect. Oh, my goodness gracious. So it may come down to Kane Cordova and the field goal opportunity. So the line of scrimmage is the 16, making it a 33-yard field goal. They will have holding the ball is going to be Aaron Ochoa at the 33-yard line. So if you'll keep your eye on the kicker, I'll keep mine on the officials under the goalpost, and we'll see what happens.
Nope. Didn't get it up in the air. Is exactly right. Our statistician, Larry Thornhill, said that was not a good kick off his foot. Now, here is the dilemma, Barry. 1:39. You have 2 timeouts. You have to use them and stop them and see if you can't get a turnover, see if you can't get a break, see if you can't get them to run the ball out of bounds accidentally or something and get that ball back to your offense.
You know they're not going to throw it.
I mean, they're not going to throw the ball here. I would say right now it's either Quay Gray or one of those running backs, Compton, something like that running. I'm sorry, Manuel now. He's hurt.
Manuel, yeah. So it's going to be either the quarterback or the running back, either Manuel or Gray, on every play, using as much time as they can, and the Broncos calling a timeout every time. Now they're going to get a whole lot of yards on 1st down before they finally tackle him at the 32-yard line after a gain of 12. And it's going to be 1st and 10, and they haven't called a timeout yet.
I think they'll wait till after this 1st down play again and see if they can get them for nothing. That's a zone read by their offense, and, man, he read it right and gave it to the back, and he had a wide open hole on the left side.
Well, they finally started the play clock. Play clock is down to 15 seconds right now and 1:07, so he doesn't have to snap it until about 50 seconds to play in the ball game if he doesn't want to. Broncos could have won this one.
8 in the box now, Barry. They're really going to crowd the line of scrimmage. And that is not good because it may have just sealed the fate of the Broncos tonight. He is out of bounds, though. That might help.
Well, he does get the ball from the 32 down to the 47-yard line for a 20-yard gain. And only we're down to, 47 seconds. Well, two mistakes in the kicking game, I think, is the difference in the game because the defense played well enough to win the ball game.
Yep, it's 3 phases of the football game. We've talked about it a lot, Barry, on this broadcast down through the years. You got to win offense, defense, and special teams. You have to win the special teams battle.
So they're in a form of the victory formation because Gray will simply take it and take a knee. That's the 1st down play down to 43 seconds.
OHS going to take one of their 2 timeouts right here.
Man, I'm really craving a Dr. Pepper.
Crave Rider! He always has a Dr. Pepper when you're craving Dr. Pepper!
Crave Rider, hit me.
Sorry, man, that was my last one.
But your song just said you always have Dr. Pepper.
I got you. He sprays Dr. Pepper cause he's out of Dr. Pepper!
See you guys.
Woo! When you crave.
BCM and Associates Incorporated, the oil-filled undertaker. BCM provides turnkey services to plug and abandon oil and gas wells in the Permian Basin. BCM has 7 highly trained plugging crews based in Odessa and Hobbs, New Mexico. BCM will prepare and file regulatory forms. We also buy leases for production and salvage. Go to bcmandassociates.com for services, pipe, plus equipment for sale. bcmandassociates.com. The oil-filled undertaker.
Well, what might have been, huh?
Well, what might have been, exactly. And, you know, you've made some plays and played good enough to do some things, but the 2 turnovers have killed them tonight. 2 turnovers have killed them. That's a cold, harsh reality. Odessa High is going to call their last time out here at 40 seconds. And they just have to snap it in that victory formation one more time, and they're done.
So after tonight, the Broncos will be on the road next week.
To a struggling Abilene High team, Barry.
Yeah, Abilene was 0-2 coming into tonight. The last report we got was Abilene Cooper was really putting a number on them. And so they may be at an 0-3 mark. Broncos taking a 2-1 mark into Abilene next week. Permian will be off. Next week was the week they would have played the team from Buffalo, Timon. But Timon, just before the season began, changed coaches and principals, and they opted to not continue their schedule of going all over America like they did last year. Last year they played in Texas, they played in Georgia, they played in Ohio.
Yeah, Ohio, that's right.
You know, and so the new regime said, not going to do it. And so we have an open week next week, and then Permian plays Wolford Friendship the next week, and then is off a second time after the Friendship game. So Gray will take the snap with 35 seconds now, 30 seconds to go in the ball game. And, final assessment, I know part of it's going to be that 3 phases of the game, you got to win all 3 of them.
Yeah, and you take some good things, you take some great things away from this and show it to the kids on film. Defensively, outstanding.
Yeah.
Other than, a couple of running plays here in the second half that they established and got their ground game going, but really defensively very solid, very good, very fundamentally well done effort. And offensively, think about the long pass, the long run, the 2 long passes that you executed to get 3 touchdowns on the offensive side. But you have to also put some plays together and make some drives. And really, you got to find a way to win the kicking game.
Well, tonight's Odessa High Bronco Lubbock Coronado Mustang Game of the Week produced and directed by Bob Bailey, with Debbie Bailey handling our replay. Lorenzo Rivas and Jason Barrage on the main cameras up top. Grant Barrage in the north end zone, Robert Carrillo in the south end zone. Father and son Pete and John Delgado take care of our sideline grip work. Larry Thornhill, our statistician, Kyle Hubbard, Barry Sykes here with you. So, folks, thanks for being with us. Broncos will take this one on the chin to fall to 2-1. Our final score is Lubbock Coronado 21 and the Broncos 20.